session today. Thank you so much for being here. Our presenter, Iman, is a very highly experienced in scientific and regulatory affairs within the medical device and IVD industry. Just a few housekeeping items. Please remain muted with your camera off. Arazy Group members will be the only ones able to ask questions throughout the presentation towards the end. But if you do have any questions, please note them down so you will receive an email after the meeting and you can fill out a form asking your question and we will get that answered for you. We will be recording the meeting, but unfortunately will not be able to distribute the recording. Without further ado, thank you so much, Iman. Over to you.
Thank you, Isabel. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly meeting for April 2024. So we are very happy to have all of you here today, and thank you for joining us. Hope you will enjoy it. So today we will be focusing on the latest regulatory updates in 6 countries: Brazil, China, Cuba, Ecuador, Malaysia, and Thailand. So in Brazil, we will review information regarding the certificates of GMP, the safety and performance requirements, and prioritization of dengue diagnosis devices. So regarding the GMP certificate, the Brazilian Health Regulatory Agency, Anvisa, published on March 20, 2024, Resolution RDC number 850 for the administrative procedure for granting certificates of GMP. So this resolution comes into force this month on April 1st, 2024. And basically it has extended the validity of the certificates of GMP to 4 years for manufacturer of medical devices granted through the MDSAP program. So it has extended the certificate from validity from 2 to 4 years. In addition, application for GMP certificates through MDSAP and their renewal filled before the entry in force of this resolution will be valid for 4 years as well. Next update is regarding safety and performance requirements. So the resolution RDC 848 for safety and performance requirements for medical devices and IVD was published by Anvisa on March 5th, 2024, and will come into force by September of this year. The updated essential safety and performance requirements are important because it will allow the regulatory authority to evaluate this aspect, the safety and performance against new technology and the diversity of medical devices. Actually, a new technology have challenged a lot Anvisa in the adequate technical evaluation for many years. That's why with this update, it will be easier and faster for them. So the updated requirements will also enable manufacturers to identify the studies and evidence that should support product registration requests in an objective manner, so giving more robustness to the documentation submitted to Anvisa. And also, this resolution incorporates the Mercosur technical regulation on the essential safety and performance requirements for medical devices and IVD into the national legal system. And as a result, also the agency analysis will be more agile as the evidence that must be evaluated will be adequately structured and identified with the essential requirements applicable internationally. In the third update in Brazil today, we'll discuss the prioritization of dengue diagnosis devices. So this is to combat the dengue epidemic. Anvisa published on March 6th of this year an announcement regarding their decision to prioritize all requests for registration of devices intended for the diagnosis of the dengue, tests used in laboratory and pharmacy to identify the disease. So priority will be given to requests of GMP certification as well for company that manufacture dengue-based tests, ensuring the quality and safety of these products. And the measure covers requests in progress right now, and also those that are filled in the next 60 days. It means until the beginning of May 2024, we'll have this prioritization. In addition, MVisa is evaluating also at the request of the Ministry of Health the possibility of commercializing a self-test for dengue. It is not yet established, but soon the agency will pronounce on the subject. The second country for today is China. So here basically we'll discuss information related to UDI of medical devices. As we will see, this is more a reminder. So we know that on February 17 of 2023, like a year ago, the State Food and Drug Administration, the National Health Commission, and the National Medical Insurance Administration issued an announcement regarding the implementation of a third batch of UDI for medical devices in China. And that this announcement included an attachment with the list of all concerned medical devices that are a class 2 medical devices of the third batch. Now the reminder is that these medical devices of this third batch that have been produced from June 2024 shall have an UDI. So soon, as we are in the end of April, starting from June, any medical device that is getting produced shall have the UDI from this third batch. And we know that this third batch include, as I said, class 2 medical devices from this following categories: active surgical instrument, passive surgical instrument, nerve and cardiovascular surgical devices, orthopedic surgical instrument, medical imaging devices, medical diagnosis and monitoring equipment, respiratory anesthesia and first aid equipment, physical therapy equipment, blood transfusion, dialysis and extracorporeal circulation equipment, active implantable devices, infusion, nursing and protective equipment, ophthalmic devices, obstetric and gynecology assisted reproduction and contraceptive devices, medical rehabilitation equipment, and clinical laboratory equipment. So the third batch included the medical devices of all these categories. And now in our third country, Cuba. There are several updates. As we can see, we will discuss updates regarding the regulation of automatic sphygmomanometers, guides for IVDs, and standards for medical devices and IVD. So in the first update, the Center for State Control, Medicine, Medical Equipment and Devices, called CISMED, published on the 14th of December 2023 a resolution number 92/2023 for the regulation of automatic sphygmomanometers. So this document states specific requirement to automatic sphygmomanometers that are high-risk medical devices classified as class 2A. And this resolution will come into force the 6 months after the date of its publication, around June 14, 2024. And this is like a complementary regulation to be added to the general requirement established in the 8616 for state evaluation of medical equipment and devices, which is already approved and enforced. So this is a complementary. The general requirement should be followed, and in addition, this complementary regulation for these devices. In the second update in Cuba, so we have that also in December of 2023, the SESMES also published another resolution 95 2023. This is regarding the updated list of guide that should be followed and applied to IVD. This is a 7th edition, so we are talking about an update. This resolution include guidelines that should be followed from different organizations such as the FDA, TBD, the IMDRF, the WHO, PAHO, United Kingdom Blood Transfusion Services, MDCG, and the European Commission. So, as I said, this is regarding IVD only. And then the third update, this is a resolution that is specific to medical devices and IVD. It states the updated standard to be followed by these devices, and it is applicable for quality, biological evaluation, clinical investigation, medical devices with measurement function, product-specific standards, like the one we just show in the previous slide, medical software and laboratory testing. So that was the three updates in Cuba that should be taken into consideration for the process of registration. And in Ecuador, we'll talk about notification to the Registry of Medical Devices. So on January of this year, the National Agency for Regulation, Control and Sanitary Surveillance, RCSA, updated the resolution 2023-5 concerning notification to the Registry of Medical Devices. So the updates concern the required document for the notification, number 5 and 11. So for the number NDM5, it corresponds to change of the product owner's address, provided it is not the main manufacturer or the product manufacturer instead. They have added that if the product owner is foreign manufacturer, ARCSA will accept the certificate of free sale or its equivalent electronically. This is the new, electronically, provided its authenticity can be verified on the issuing entity website. In this case, it will not be necessary for the CFS or its equivalent to be apostilled or consularized. However, the applicant must submit the certificate of free sales or its equivalent in a PDF format. Now, the second notification is the number 11. It corresponds to inclusion, change, or elimination of the condition and establishment, which is certified in GMP or ISO 13485. Now, in addition to the document notifying the change or inclusion of the condition and establishment and condition and agreement, now it is also required to submit a certificate of ISO 13485 and GMP certificate or ISO 13485 of the condition and establishment for imported product, plus stability study when it is applicable. So for the local manufacturer, certificate ISO 13485, and for the imported product, either GMP or ISO 13485. Okay, and the last notification that was updated, or better said added, because this is new, there is the NFM 16. It corresponds to elimination of items in general. This one, as I said, was newly added to the Annex 1, and it specified that for the elimination of items, it is required to submit a letter notifying the removal of the item. Okay, so in Malaysia, we'll talk about the exemption from medical device registration. Here in Malaysia, last month, March 2024, the authority released the Gazette of Medical Devices exemption called Order 2024 to replace the previous version that was known as Order 2016 from the 2016. So in this new update, the following cases of exemption from medical device registration were added: medical devices for export only, medical devices for import, for re-export, to be re-exported, and orphaned medical devices. And the exemption is subject to the following condition. So any person who import, export, manufacture, or place in the market any medical device from the list of exempted devices from registration shall now make an application for an exemption to the authority, or submit an application to. And lastly, the minister exempt a person who import or export any medical devices from the list of exempted medical devices, excluding special access medical device, from the requirement of establishment license. And our last country today is Thailand, where we will present some recent updates on application review time and concise evaluation and reliance program. So the FDA announced decrease of time for approval by more than 50% in Thailand. This is possible by increasing the service potential, because they have increased the service potential with the digital work system in an FDA one platform, consisting of e-service, e-submission, e-payment, e-review, e-tracking, and e-license from the application permission until it is received. So this has reduced the approval time to 50%. And it's also another announcement was published last month regarding amendment in the evaluation scheme for the concise evaluation route. So it stated that now there are two conditions that should be fulfilled for the evaluation of a concise evaluation route. First, that the medical device has been approved from by one of the following reference agency: TGA, Health Canada, European Union Notified Body, Japan Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, FDA, and WHO of for yeah, and the WHO for pre-qualified of IVD. This is the first condition, as I said, for the concise evaluation route. One of this country, reference country, and the period obtaining an approval from this reference country must be at least 1 year. And it must not be a medical device that has been approved with an exemption of the evaluation of safety and performance. Now, these are the two conditions for the concise evaluation route. One of this reference country and at least approved 1 year in this country. In addition, intended use, indication, labeling, instruction for use, and packaging must be aligned with those approved by the authority listed in the previous slide. And for the Reliance program, the condition for the Reliance were also outlined in two conditions. The first one, medical device should be approved by the HSA of Singapore, because this program, Reliance program, is between the Singapore and Thailand, basically. So it should be approved first by the Singapore HSA regulatory authority, and such medical device must not be approved with an exception of the evaluation of safety and performance of medical devices also. And the intended use, indication, labeling, instruction for use, and packaging must be aligned with those approved by reference country authority. Okay. So here we'll summarize a little bit what we have discussed in our meeting. So in Brazil, we reviewed 3 updates regarding the GMP certificate validity, which is a very important update. From now, they are valid from the validity was extended from 2 to 4 years. As we said, also for the manufacturer that are producing like facility, it will be also extended. The safety and performance requirements and the prioritization for dengue diagnosis devices in Brazil. In China, we gave a reminder regarding the 3rd batch of medical devices that should have the UDA mandatory. And in Cuba, we reviewed 3 updates regarding this specific guideline for the registration of automatic sphygmomanometers, the updated guides to follow for the IVD, and the updated standards applicable for medical devices and IVD. And in Ecuador, we've reviewed also the several updates and the required document for 3 notifications. And in Malaysia, we talked about the exemption from medical device registration and the requirement for that. And finally, in Thailand, we talk about a very important update regarding the application review time that was published, that now it would be reduced to 50% because of the new platform, and a concise evaluation and Reliance program update. Thank you for your attendance today, and please, if you have any question for our Arazy member and for our external guests, you can always send us your question in by email after the meeting, and we'll be happy to respond to all your doubts. Thank you.
Okay, Iman, hi. Thank you so much for your presentation. I have a few questions in regard to Thailand, if I may. Just want to make some clarification. So on the Reconcile program, does that mean that every product that is already approved in Singapore is automatically approved in Thailand? Like, what's the essence of the program, or vice versa?
Yes, it is now like not automatically, but it will be very fast to be approved. It's like it is recognized automatically. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a shortcut.
Yes, a shortcut.
Okay, and the concise evaluation plan, what exactly is it?
the concise evaluation. It is like the approval. It is also a very fast approval program, and it's required that it is applied if the product has been approved in one of the reference country, as I said, and at least 1 year of approval. Now, this is not a new program. It was already, it exists from times ago. The difference or the news now is that it is just required from one country of this list and 1 year of approval. Before it was there was like 3 scenarios, or approved in 2 countries and marketed for 1 year, or approved in 1 country and approved during 3 years, or approved in 1 country and at least 1 year, but the product is listed in the pre-qualified IVD from WHO. That was 3 options, more condition. Now it is simplified to 1 year and
any one of those countries.
Only one, yeah, anyone.
I see. Excellent. All right. And the last question I have in regard to that country. So you mentioned that they have an online system which is called FDA one approach or something. Is that system available to the manufacturers directly, or do you have to go through your authorized representative or license holder or whoever is responsible in Thailand to make the submission?
Yeah, to the responsible, to the authorized representative.
Okay, so it's not something that the manufacturer can log in and do the work themselves.
No, the authorized person to do the registration, to submit the registration, is the one who, I mean, the regulatory the AR, who will have the access to the account to do all these submissions.
Okay, and they guarantee that it will, or they at least promise that it will reduce the approval time by 50%.
Yes, yes, that's what they communicated. That they trust that this new one platform for all this, it will reduce the time by 50%. It's a lot. It's a huge improvement. We'll see.
Yeah, it will also nice to see if it will reduce the actual submission preparation as well, if you might simplify it. Okay. All right, Iman, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
You're welcome. Yes.
Hi, Iman.
Hi.
Hi, I have a question about Malaysia.
Yeah.
What are the differences between the new and old processes regarding the exemption from medical device registration?
Yeah. So here, the exemption. Yeah. So as I said, now it is required to submit an application in order to do for an exception to the authority. So previously, it was like only informing the authority in writing. It's like a letter. Now it is an official application that should be submitted. That's the difference.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Man. Hey, thank you for the presentation. So I have a question regarding Brazil. You mentioned the first point, which was the extension of the validity of the license. So I have a question. So how do you think it might affect, the overall regulatory landscape in Brazil, and also how it would influence, the standards for medical device manufacturing processes there?
Yes, as I said, this is a very important update. It will so extending this GMP certificate validity. It is expected to simplify the administrative processes for the manufacturer and decrease the renewal frequency also. So all this is very important, and everybody who is working have all this paperwork, they know that. And this will give the manufacturer basically more time to focus on production, quality, and the other aspects. So improve their products, and so yeah, it's like saving time and saving a lot of effort doing renewal every 2 years as it was before. Yeah, that's it. I think that's what I think this was a very important update that was published last month, and everybody was like happy with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Okay, so yes, anyone interested in the content of this meeting can receive the slides with all this information. And again, I was happy to have all of you with us today, and hope you enjoyed and learned a lot, and wish to meet you or to have you all in our next meeting for May 2024. And until that, keep safe. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Iman.
Thank you, Iman.
Thank you,
Bye.
Iman.
If you
Bye.
noted down
Thank
any
you.
questions, you can reply to the email that